National Signing Day on Wednesday. Your thoughts on Notre Dame's class and any loose ends out there? Any guys on the borderline that could really make this a special class?
So they just offered a Michigan State running back commit. His name is Audric Estime, four-star kid, really powerful big back that has some speed. I think he's listed at like 6'1.5", 215, 220. And if you've seen pictures of him, he's pretty rocked up. He looks kind of like the traditional Alabama type running backs, SEC caliber. Like I said, I mean, obviously committed to Michigan State, plays at a powerhouse in New Jersey, St. Joseph Regional, who's been pretty kind to Notre Dame in the past. So a lot of people think they can end up in Notre Dame's class, whether that be here in a couple days or in February, at least officially in February. Other than that, though, I mean, outside of maybe a surprise or two, you know, because of the Clark Lee departure, I mean, they have another running back committed right now in Logan Diggs. He's got an offer from LSU, and he's a Louisiana kid. So, I mean, obviously you got to look out for that. I mean, if he decides that that's really where he wants to be, you know, growing up in that state, and, you know, LSU probably being his dream school as a kid, I mean, that's something to look out for. But overall, at least from the sources I've been able to connect with over the last few days, even regarding, like I said, Clark Lee's departure, I mean, Prince Colley, who's a Tennessee kid, who has a really good relationship with Clark Lee. I mean, there's been a few talks here and there that maybe he's, you know, at least listening to some other programs, but I really don't see anybody leaving. And if someone did, I mean, I would probably venture to guess it would be Logan Diggs, just because of the LSU Louisiana connection. But these kids have been committed for so long. They've developed really good relationships. Notre Dame particularly is really good. Of all the kids in the class always seem to have great relationships with each other. They have text message groups throughout the entire cycle. And they build a really special bond. And I'm not trying to say that that's not, you know, evident elsewhere. It probably is. But there's just one thing since I really started covering Notre Dame recruiting over the last few years is, especially when Notre Dame is good, they don't lose many recruits. If anything, they land extra recruits at the end of the cycle. And that's what they've done this year. And I think they're going to do it at least one more time.
We always get a ton out of Nathan Urbach covering Notre Dame football. Of course, the Irish with a huge matchup and a very different matchup for Notre Dame football and trying to win a conference championship in the ACC against Clemson. Part 2 in Charlotte. Nathan, we always appreciate the conversation, man.